1st and goal, and a false start for the Niners. Out of Indiana. He had that 14-yard run right before the end of the 1st quarter. He is violent, he is powerful. He's a 210-pound back, and he's short, kind of built like Ashton Jeanty, and he has it again. And he got a couple of yards out of that, down to the 10. She's coming to break things up. A couple of the Niners offensive linemen. Enrique Cruz Jr. was there with Trevin Ma'ai. Now Adrian Martinez, 47 starts between Nebraska and Kansas State, was undrafted free agent last year. Last couple of years back and forth, Niners and the Jets somewhere in between. Was the MVP of the UFL in 2024. He throws it short. Watkins in between 3 Raiders. Isaiah Polamau, the first hit. Tommy Eichenberg cleaned it up, and it's 3rd and goal.
Yeah, and a nice job of conversion by
his 2nd unit. Martinez to the air, to the corner, and is broken up. Isaiah Polamau stepped in front of the tight end, Braden Willis, and it's 4th down. This is like John Weeks in the hold of Corliss Wakeman. It is booted right through. And so the Mendoza interception lead.
Change of pace back, but if you want to get on the field a lot in the regular season, you got to be very proficient in the passing game at the running back position.
Kevin Tompkins on the return with Roman Henby leading the way, and he takes it out past the 30 into the arms of Jalen Graham. And so Fernando Mendoza, and we're getting accustomed to that, right? Those jump squats in the air as he takes the field. He didn't watch him at Indiana. He didn't.
This year in the Big Ten.
Dylan Laube in at tailback. Instead, it's a direct handoff to Devin Tompkins, trying to string it outside, and he cannot get there. Jacob Robinson, he set the edge and laid the line, and the 2nd-year corner out of BYU with the stop.
Yeah, nice job by Robinson, because basically he...
Natural grass here at Allegiant Stadium that is sticking out the top of his helmet. Natural grass, certainly a conversation here in the offseason. Mendoza back to the air, tough throw, Benson can't bring it in. Darrell Luter, who's had some really good coverage here in this opening half for San Francisco, was right there. It's 3rd and 10.
That's something that we expected for Fernando. We saw that a lot at Indiana, the back shoulder throw. So cornerbacks.
Robert Saleh, who's now one of the 10 new coaches in the NFL. He's with Tennessee. Pressure on Mendoza, down he goes. Pressure came through. Keon White, the former Patriot, gets the sack, and the Raiders go 3 and out.
Yeah, there's just miscommunication up front. When you got these twists and stunts, you've got to make.
So Jordan Watkins back deep to receive the punt from A.J. Cole. That punt comes right to him where he was standing. He gets around one defender and into the Raiders bench. Patrick Gerd, the backup fullback on the tackle.
Be a great head coach for the Raiders, but man, what a lineup.
To the ground, Tommy Eichenberg standing his ground. Jordan James about a yard or 2 shy. J.J. Pegues in on the tackle as well. You know, we started this broadcast, guys, by talking it will come Sunday. The final preseason games tonight, tomorrow, and then for 4 teams on Saturday. But these are the guys we're talking about who are trying to fill those final 4, 5, 6 roster spots, both on the offensive and the defensive side of the field. Adrian Martinez took over for Mac Jones. He hands it off to Jordan James again. Cody Lindenberg, first man through. Patrick Johnson. He is there again. We are getting a whole lot of 93 here in this preseason.
Yeah, there's just the penetration by this defensive front of the Raiders. You want to talk about building.
His career with the Eagles, had a year with the Giants, and then back to Philly last year. Laube calls for the fair catch with Jacob Robinson right in his face. It's 43 on the punt.
Answer.
Raiders come out running. Dare Agumbawale gets the carry, and he is ridden down to the turf after a pickup of 6. C.J. West in on the stop.
And Agumbawale is one of those guys, a veteran in this league, plays special teams. I believe he also kicked a field goal before, right, in the league. So he can do a lot on special teams, but right now he may be thrust into a much bigger role at the running back position early on.
You know, you and I did the entire radio season last year. We'll have your number 2 this year. You know that is definitely not right. That is a false start. you know that I pride myself on prep on all guys. I do not have that written down. I'm going to guess that you just taught me right tackle and center. Right? It's more usually guard and center.
Yeah, you're looking for position versatility, and certainly he has that.
Back on the ground to Agumbawale, who's tripped up on the outside. Solid open field tackle. Saran Neal has played a solid first half here for the Niners.
We always talk about the more you can do. We're just talking about contributions in the kicking game, and of course, you know, if you're an offensive lineman, you're trying to earn a job here with the Raiders.
3rd down and 5. Jack Besh is on the field. Bottom of the screen. Mendoza has good protection. Laube. Oh, he got through a pair of defenders. That was not going to be a first down. And he picked up 12 yards after he had a pair of Niners whiff.
That's how you do it. You squeak through. It's his own.
You know, he's a guy who made the roster 2 years in a row on special teams. Mendoza sacked from behind. Oh, Mo Okoronkwo. That is a loss of 9. But, you know, back to Dylan Laube. He's a guy who made this team for 2 years because of special teams.
Correct.
It feels like if preseason's an indication, he will have a role on the offense this year. Kind of looks like maybe that 3rd down back for the Raiders.
I think that it's protection. And right now they trust him in that protection role. And it just goes to show how much and how important Ashton Jeanty is to this offense, by the way.
Mendoza trying to set up the screen, and he dumps it at the feet. Alfred Collins was first man through, and then he started tracking down for the running back.
You know, we talk about the importance of that 3rd down back.
One more time.
RCE,
okay.
Recognition, communication, and execution.
See, I take notes, Rich.
Right. 3rd down and 19. They hand it off to Laube. Collins on the tackle. So the Raiders will have to punt. The offense tonight with the starters, Kirk Cousins, over 100 yards on a couple of drives, a couple of field goals. 3 drives at this point for Fernando Mendoza has been a different story.
Yeah, and I think what I'm seeing too is this second group of offensive linemen have not really helped out Fernando. He's been under duress. He's been sacked a couple times. He just doesn't seem comfortable, especially after that interception.
Yeah, Charles Grant just got beat around the edge on 2nd down. That didn't help. That's a good looking punt.
It is. We've come accustomed to that as Watkins backpedals to the 11. He gets around the first defender. And he is brought down by Cameron McGrone at the 16. It is a 64-yard punt. Just
I always love his line. Are you willing to go longer and harder than your opponent? And that's what we need from these offensive linemen.
And around the reverse to Jordan Watkins, who gets a block, and he's got 15 yards. Jermon McCoy tackled him up high. And Matt Jones wanted a penalty on that. It's 1st down.
A little bit of gamesmanship here. Remember,
about Clint telling us Clay's asking a lot of questions. What are you guys going to do? How many fronts you're going to play? What kind of runs you're going to have?
Trying to get bragging rights for Thanksgiving, Rich.
Set up the screen to Jordan James. He's got 2 blockers in front. They set that up beautifully. And Jordan James inside Raiders territory for 20 yards. Jordan James fractured his ribs the 2nd day of training camp. He just returned this week into what has become kind of a crowded backfield. They've had a lot of injuries in their running back group.
A year ago, he was on the roster. They trade him to New Orleans, so they've got a bunch of backs all trying to find a way to get on the field.
Now, you mentioned the former Raiders. Here's Sincere McCormick, who is upended by Massis. That is a pickup of 6 yards. Sincere McCormick, undrafted free agent 2022. He was hurt right when he got to the Raiders. Never really got a chance to play in 2022. Had that 2 really good games for the Raiders. But he is with San Francisco trying to make their roster here in 2026. Well, Adrian Martinez game probably the rest of the way. Back to the ground. James cuts it outside, and he is met in the hole. Kean Sloan and Drayton Stukes came up to make the stop as well. And it's 3rd down.
Officials timeout for a virtual measurement.
All right, we haven't had this yet here in our 2 preseason games. It's that Hawkeye technology.
I say short.
do you want to give us the... Right, 3rd and inches here for Adrian Martinez.
3rd and short defense.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know that he got there.
No, he didn't. I'm watching the official up top. He's short.
That is Folo Fatukasi holding on to the shoulders. He popped last week, too, with a couple of plays behind the line of scrimmage, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, Fatukasi and also Jonah.
A foot and a half. Martinez on the rollout. Key and slow. Can't get his hand on it. It's a 1st down. Hayden Rucci, the tight end. That was just over the outstretched arms of the rookie Slow, and it's 10 yards and a 4th down conversion.
I think the only coaching point here.
Knew his assignment. To the ground on 1st down. That's a big hole. And James gets away from Stooks for an extra 5 yards. It is 1st and goal after a 17-yard gash play.
A lot of movement for this 49ers offensive line. A lot going into the backfield. Watch all.
Run is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. Rob Leonard's defense started the 4th quarter inside its own 10-yard line. They're heading towards the... On 1st and goal and met in the hole. Jordan James driven back. It'll be 2nd down and a timeout taken by Clint Kubiak. Raiders take their timeout.
Las Vegas.
They've got 2 left. And, you know, we got to get back to those winning ways.
No question. I think it's really the continuity and consistency with the head coach and quarterback. I mean, I think there's been way too much turnover with respect to those 2 positions.
The pressure by Pegues. And he got his hands on it. And so now it is 3rd and goal coming up here.
Oh, Rich, I go back to what you're talking about. Being there in the Coliseum, 2003, the last time the Raiders won a playoff game. Step with Clint Kubiak.
That play of the drive. Martinez certainly can scramble. He's got a long way to go, and he got a lot farther than it looked like. Eichenberg chased him out of bounds.
Well, if you just
picked up about 7.
If you just look at the division, you've got Sean Payton and Bo Nix. You've got Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. You got here at that position. That's what's really held back this organization the last decade.
Pinheiro good from 24. He is now good from 25. And the game
Single year for alumni weekend.
Devin Tompkins nowhere to go. Got away from 1. And he is just tripped up from behind. Making the tackle. The Frisians Prysock on a 26-yard return. And, you know, we're talking alumni and all of that. Battle cancer. 1:31 to go here before halftime. Dylan Laube starts it off with a run, and he picks it out to the 34. He's got 6. Raiders do have a pair of timeouts left if they can move down the field with 80 seconds before halftime.
What are you saying in Fernando Mendoza's head right now, Rich?
Well, there's got to be some tempo. They're getting in the huddle now. I just want to see him make good decisions. I want to see him be in control. This is a great opportunity to execute a 2-minute drive and come away with some points before the half. No sacks in this situation. There you go.
Brody and Thomas is close to the 1st down. A near side official came in and said he has the 1st down, so they will move the chains. I think you got to have a little bit more urgency. You do have the 2 timeouts.
Good throw.
Brandon Johnson went low to make the catch, and then Clint Kubiak does take his 2nd timeout.
You know, the one thing that's been impressive with Fernando
Las
Mendoza is,
this
you know, you watch the
30-second timeout.
You watch the preseason games. He's done a good job working through his progressions. He doesn't get stuck. If a guy's not open, he gets to the 2nd, he gets to the 3rd. Don't typically see that with a lot of young quarterbacks.
Game
it takes.
Clock operator, please set the game clock to 35 seconds, please.
I would say I want to see him work on that ending, because I feel like he goes through the progressions, and once he's finished, it's like, okay, what do I do now? And then that's where he either gets the sack, he gets hit. I want to see him learn how to throw the ball away. Yeah, that time clock. Throw the ball away. Don't throw it late in the down. We saw he got an interception on that last week versus the Texans. So to me, I think it's also the end part of it.
It's been determined that the runner did make the line.
Kick a field goal going into halftime with a lead.
Now, Matt Gay's career long is 58, so you're only about 12 yards away from that. Empty set here for Mendoza. Down the sideline, Benson brought it in, but he's out of bounds and a flag. Kneel in on coverage. Benson was not inbounds, but it's going to be looking at the ball. There's a lot of the Niners fans in attendance. You hear those boos. Mendoza comes back to Ian Thomas. It's a short gain. He is driven back by Jaden Duggar, rookie out of Louisiana, who last year was a tackling machine. Raiders not taking that last time out yet with 13 seconds. You gotta get that play off quickly. Back to Thomas. He dropped it. Now he'll stop the clock with 5 seconds left.
That's what you learn. Wasted about 15 seconds there.
Matt Gay is hit from 37. He has knocked one in from 53. This from 45. And he is responsible for all 9 Raiders points here in the first half. Brings us to the locker room. 9